This is Maria, and I want to talk to you today about a new crafting option from Stampin' Up called Letterpress Plates. Now, at first I didn't know what letterpress plates were, and I was leery about using them because I thought they might be complicated and messy and whatnot. But I was pleasantly surprised. It actually allows you to use your big shot to use the stamping to do the stamping for you. This is what a letterpress plate looks like. And this is one that was introduced in the Holiday Mini, but continues to be offered in the New Occasions Mini. It's called Lots of Love, and it coordinates with the stamp set called Filled with Love, which actually was offered in the Holiday Mini, but is continued to be offered in the New Occasions Mini catalog. This is what it looks like, and actually it's very similar to the texture plate in size and thickness. So when you're running it through the big shot, you just use the settings for the texture plates. Inking up the texture plates is actually quite simple. The only thing is you do need craft ink, and there's not very many craft inks in the catalog, but Stampin' Up provided an uninked stamping pad that I was able to get, and what you do is you order the craft ink refills, and in this case I got the real red because I had every intention of making Valentine's Day cards. Now, as an alternative, if you don't want to buy the uninked pad, you can use the craft stamping spots. How do you apply it to the letterpress plates? Well, I've already inked up my stamping pad, and by the way, it only took about a quarter of the bottle, so it really is quite good. You can apply it from the ink pad directly onto the surface, and certainly if you're inking up the entire letterpress plate, that's probably the most efficient method. The other method that you can do is using the brayer and inking up the brayer and then putting the brayer over the letterpress plate. If you, however, just want to print off just one word, like say the word love, then use your ink spot and just ink that up. Just cut a small piece of paper and just put it over that and run it through the big shot. So let's just ink it up and run it through the big shot. Now I won't show it going through the big shot. Experimenting shows that it doesn't show well on the screen. So we'll just ink it up. And in this case, because I have the ink pad all inked up, I'll just ink it up with the ink pad. Then after you're done, just eyeball it to make sure that you've inked all of the surface up that you want. Then take a piece of pre-cut cardstock. And in this case, I'm using Whisper White. And I'll just show you how to make a sandwich of the big shot. I'll just move some of this stuff out of the way. There we go. See that? Okay, just open up all the tabs. It says here, when using texture plates or thick materials, use this particular surface. So you lay the texture plate down on top of that. Bend your paper very gently because you don't want to smear the ink. And then only one of the cutting plates. And Stampin' Up recommends that you use a newer one of the cutting plates that doesn't have as many scratches and that on it, because the texture plates are very sensitive. However, I don't have a new one, so I just use this one, and I tried it and it works quite well. Okay, now I'll just run it through the big shot. And when we're through, this is what it looks like. You have a lovely piece of paper that has the impressions from the texture plate. Now just let that dry for a while. It does take a little while to dry before you handle it and you start making cards with it. Here's a couple of cards that I made. This one is almost like the card that was sampled in the Holiday Mini. I did change some aspects of the card, however, and I had some pieces left over, so I just made another card, and I had a lot of fun doing them. So if you wish to order the letterpress plates or any of the supplies that I talked about, then just go to the website that you see at the bottom of your screen. Again, this is Freya, signing off.